So in this video, I'm going to show you how to put baby into your baby sling. One of the questions I get asked the most is, how do I know whether I've got the sling tied tightly enough for baby? And what I find is that most mums and dads tend to do it a little bit too loosely. So what I tend to do is bring my arms forward. These shoulder pad straps that are coming forward here are going to be the first areas for your baby to go into. And the best way is I'm just going to pull it forward so you can see the gap between my chest and the back of the strap here. And that's how I gauge whether there's enough space. If I pull firmly forwards, I can actually think, right, yes, I've got a 6-month-old baby that I'm going to put into here. I've got enough space for the baby's leg and back to go into. So the legs will go into here and their backs will be facing towards you and away from me. So I know that that's going to be a thing. Now, it is something a little bit of a guess initially, but you will get used to knowing how that is. And I'll show you how to tighten, how to loosen off the sling as we go. So I'm going to pick baby up. Now, usually when we go to put a baby into a baby sling, they may be a bit grouchy. They probably may even have just been fed and they may have a little bit of reflux. Perfect time to put a baby into a baby sling if they have reflux. And you know, as I say, my little one here is a 6-month-old, so slightly more, would have a much more sturdy head. If you've got a tiny little one, you can put babies into baby slings as long as they're 5 pounds and over, especially into these baby slings, the Bambolino ones. And I'd always make sure that my arm is nice and strongly around baby's back and up onto their head, just to give them that sort of next comfort and that security that the head is being supported. Now then, I've got baby onto this side. I'm just going to quickly check which side is the top and which side is the bottom. Now, the side that's underneath is the side that you need them to be putting their leg into first. So I'm going to change baby onto this side of me, because when I'm looking down, I don't know whether you can see, but the top strap here, this is the top, this is the bottom one, and I want to put baby's leg into the bottom one first because it's a lot easier to do it that way. So you're going to hold on to baby, you're going to bring baby's leg forward, and you're going to pop their leg into that gap that you've got there. You can see I've just made a little pull forward with that strap and slide the baby's leg in, and the shoulder goes in underneath the slide, and then we're going to pull that fabric around, and I'm going to keep holding baby. I'd hold onto the back of their head and onto the shoulder the whole time and bring that piece of fabric around as much as I can, securing it as much as I can underneath this leg this way, underneath the knee, but we can adjust as we go. All right, so this shoulder and this side of the body's in, and already baby's waist is already taken by the sling. Again, rock your baby the whole time. They love movement, and it'll make it easier as well for you to navigate through pulling the fabric forward on the other side, and then you pop the leg through the other side. And then we're going to pull this over baby's back all the way. Now, this is where I tend to do a nice amount of juggling around. We need the baby's legs to be in a lovely M shape. You'll hear this a lot. Baby's legs need to go into an M shape because their hip sockets are better when their legs are up and into this M position. The way to do that is to make sure the fabric comes right underneath their knees on both sides. Unfortunately, this little one doesn't have bending knees, but I'm going to make sure that their legs are really nicely secured. I also want to make sure the fabric is nice and smooth down their back and that they feel nice and cozy in there. And immediately, what happens a lot of the time is babies will put their faces directly into the center of your chest. You need to make sure that this is above your cleavage. You can see the baby's head is above my cleavage, is actually just underneath my chin, and that I can easily see their face and make sure that they're okay. Now then, the other thing we've got to do is you've got 2 pieces here, but we need to put a 3rd piece of fabric on. And where we have that label on the front, I'm going to just find it here. This is going to be the band that goes over their back. So I'm going to just gather up. Can you see I've gathered it up again in my thumbs. I'm going to slide around to find their leg, pop little one's leg through there, pop little one's leg through here. Try not to catch hold of any skin, and we're going to just pull that fabric up. So let me just find that label again. I've just lost, there it is. I'm going to pull that fabric all the way up over baby's back, just to one side and just to the other. There we go. All right. So little one is actually in, and as you can see, I'm just now adjusting. I'm pulling down at the sides, I'm pulling down at the back. This is a chance for you to know where the baby is sitting in. Now, I'm used to doing my baby slings nice and firmly, so this feels really nice and firm and secure. Little one feels like they're on me properly, and that this one is very nicely secure on me, and I can let go quite comfortably. I've got baby's head underneath my chin. I can see their face, and their head, if this was a lovely new little one, would have their heads against my chest, and they'd be listening to my heartbeat. And this is where oxytocin starts to be released with your baby. When you actually have them close to you, they can hear your heartbeat. And obviously, with a smaller baby, they'll sit slightly lower than this, and you just have to make sure that they're not onto your into your cleavage. So we just want to follow the TICS rules, which is just making sure that your baby is within kissing distance. You can look at their face, they can see you, you can see them, that their airway is not restricted in any way at all. This one isn't at all. And that they look like they're happy. They've got a nice straight back. Their legs are in a nice M position, and they're feeling nice and secure on you. Just checking where their hands are. Now, what's quite nice is when they're slightly older, they sometimes bring their hands through, which is fine, these little ones. So you can actually hold on to their hands when they're a little bit older, and they can actually, wave them around, and in class we have some lovely times with them like that. But you can keep their hands nice and secured inside, and in a very short space of time they actually do fall asleep. Another thing that you can do is you can get a muslin, and you can actually wrap it into a roll and place it underneath their heads here. If you feel that their heads are lolling, especially when they're tiny, it's quite nice to have just a muslin or something that's rolled in here. And the other thing you can do is you can place their heads just underneath the fabric there as well. If you want to secure their heads so they're not moving, then you want them just to be in place. So that is how you can put your baby into a baby sling. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to comment. But hopefully you can actually see this little one is nice and safely on me. My posture's good. I'm just going to show you from behind. And I'm now actually able to do things hands-free. So little one is nice and comfortable, and this is how you put your baby into your baby sling, ready for class.